Ladies and gentlemen from around the world, my name is Dr. Stuffnow and welcome back to the Brief Vapes channel, where in a briefer summary as possible I'll try to tell you why you should or shouldn't buy a particular piece of vaping gear. A lot more hand articulation in this video because I'm showing you something very special. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the Fatality RTA by QP Designs. This is a very limited edition thing that QP have been doing. You may know them from the Juggernaut tank, which is quite popular even now. Actually, it was released a few months ago, as far as I'm aware. I've only tried it in passing. I never actually bought the thing, but from what I tried of the thing, I really liked it. And this is their limited edition RTA, and I'm going to give you not necessarily a massively overhauled breakdown, but there's very few reviews out there at the moment for this tank, and I'm going to show you exactly what it is like from a consumer's perspective, someone who's been vaping for around about 3 years and tends to prefer RTAs in general. So let's take the tank off of the G-Class first. Just give you some size specs. I don't know the length of the tank, but I know the width. It's 28mm, so you're going to have to get something like the G-Class to sort of to carry it properly. If you like everything to be flush and neat and nothing to overhang, you're going to have to get at least a 28mm device. But then again, you can run it on anything because it's a standard 510, of course. So this is the thing right here, and the first thing you probably notice is that it's quite big, and it is. It's not just the width that's big. It's quite a tall, lengthy tank in general. Let me just show you the unique. Actually, I'll tell you what we'll do first. So the way you basically get the tank off is it's a very elegant system. You pull up, and there we go. You pull up and twist basically, and this is the deck right here. I'm not going to take the coils out because well, I'm very lazy like that, but you'll see as best as you can. You probably can't, but there's basically 3 airflow holes. There's 2 right here, which is your side airflow, and there's a centre airflow right in the middle, and that's very wide. And basically each of these airflow directors right here sort of controls the bottom one controls the side airflow, and the top one right here controls the middle airflow, which is a very elegant system when you think about it. And I think it's something that I sort of think a lot more of these big tanks could sort of could do with adopting. You've got a very big deck there. These are stagger fused stainless steel coils here. 6 wraps around a 3mm, and you could quite easily go a lot bigger than that. I believe I'm so sorry, the main man over at QP Designs, I've forgotten his name. His video's on YouTube and has been linked on the Essex the Brotherhood's Facebook group. And he boasted that he'd put 7 or 8mm single coils in here, which is some achievement when you think about it. And of course that's perfectly viable with a deck this big. It's fantastic. You've got your sort of normal juice flow intakes right here, and overall it's just fantastic. That's the main gimmick of the tank, I suppose, is that sort of the big deck and the hefty airflow, which is of course fantastic. I'm going to put this back on the the G-Class right now, and I'm going to go over to the box and show you what you get in there, and then we'll talk about how the thing vapes overall. Oh goodness me, didn't screw the bloody thing back on properly then. I'm still sort of getting to grips with it because I've only had it for about 36 hours. I've worked it a few times, called it a few times, got a few different things. So this is the box it comes in right here. Very nice snazzy box. And you'll notice straight away that you get quite a lot of extra glass pieces here. So you've got your, this is a 4ml extension piece for a Delrin. If you're a fan of Delrin, it's polished on the outside and not so polished on the inside, basically basic Delrin on the middle. This is a 2ml Delrin piece. This is your 6mm extension piece here, the bubbled glass, and this is a replacement 2mm glass portion, because of course this is the 4mm at the moment on here. You also get, of course, a baggie full of screws, O-rings there, of course, a little screwdriver. It uses flathead screws, which is something I utterly prefer to hex screws or Phillips heads. That make me a monster in your eyes, but I just prefer them overall, I think. Now, let's talk about how it performs. Let me just adjust it here, and I'll have a vape, and I'll let you know what I really think about it. So I usually go for this. I usually go for half open on each ring there. Of course, it's mirrored on the other side. So I'm going to have a vape here. As I said, this is 6 wraps around a 3mm of stainless steel stagger fused Claptons. It's coming out at 0.13 on the G-Class, 92.5 watts on the standard mode. Let's have a vape here. One thing you'll notice straight off the bat is that it loves to kick the clouds, because I mean, when you've got a tank this size with 2 dedicated airflows and a massive air intake anyway, it really does kick, and that's only half open. It's quite the kicker, and usually you'll find with especially RTAs or sub-ohm tanks that sort of claim to be big cloud pushers, the flavour falls off a cliff. But with this and something like the Aromomizer, for instance, the Aromomizer Plus, that's never been the case for me. No matter how I wick them, no matter what cores I put in there, I always get something which is often better than a better build I'd put in any other RTA, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, basically, it's just a really, really nice, elegant, innovative design that delivers on all fronts where it should, really. What I've done is I've cut the cotton almost flush with the top of the juice intakes, as you saw when I took it down close. I don't like to poke cotton with this design in general. I don't like to poke the cotton too far down into the juice intakes. I like to keep it flush with the top because I tend to chain vape a fair bit. But yeah, look at this thing. It's beautiful. Oh, and also one thing you get, of course, in the box is, of course, that spare drip tip, which is a clear drip tip. Yes, here we go. Look. Your clear drip tip. So you've got your Delrin one and your regular plasticky sort of one right here. I like the Delrin though, and I may switch over the glass for the Delrin, but I'll keep it as is for the time being, and we'll just go from there. So yeah, that's been my my brief and perhaps not as informative as you'd have liked rundown of the QP by Fatality. If you do want one and you live in the UK, I can only speak for people who live in the UK because that's where I live, and I can only find one site that has them at the moment, and that's Vape Geek. I got mine next day delivery. It was very easy, very simple. Yeah, just great, and it cost me £85 plus delivery. Now that's a pretty hefty price tag for an RTA, but with one that's this well built, and of course it's a limited edition run, so it's always going to cost a little bit more because of that. But because it's so well built, the materials used are very, very nice. It just feels very, very premium in every respect, and I don't mind paying for something that feels this premium and this sort of limited, literally limited edition in this case. Yeah, I think it's a fantastic tank. Thanks very much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have, drop me a subscribe or a like on the video, or not. You can give me some nice criticism if you like. That would be just as welcome, I suppose. Thanks very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.